Lucian, wait here for me. The Greybeards aren't big on visitors, last I checked.
Right you are, boss.
Bones, here it is. Aldrin's Wall, so well preserved, huh? I've never seen a finer example of early Second Era Arcaviri sculpture and relief. Look, here is Aldrin. This panel goes back to the beginning of time, when Aldrin and the dragon cult ruled over Skyrim. Here, the humans rebelled against their dragon overlords, the legendary Dragonborn. Aldrin's defeat is the centerpiece of the wall. You see, here is falling from the sky. The Nord Toms, masters of the voice, are arrayed against him. This here, coming from the mouths of the Nord heroes, this is the Arcaviri symbol for shout.
You mean they used a shout to defeat Alduin? We'll have to ask the Greybeards for help. I hope to avoid involving them in this, but we have no other choice. If they had their way, you do nothing but sit up on their mountain with them and talk to the sky or whatever it is they do. The Greybeards are so afraid of power that they won't use it. Think about it. Have they tried to stop the Civil War or done anything about Alduin? No. And they're afraid of you, of your power.
Sky, guard you.
Master Arngeir?
Your training proceeds well, Dragonborn.
Thank you. I've come to continue it. Have you located any other words of power?
We have felt the whisper of a word. Give me your map and I will show you where its echo can be found.
Ironbind Barrel, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. If I'm to defeat Alduin, I need to learn the shout used to defeat him once before.
Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to?
It was recorded on Alduin's wall.
The Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path of wisdom. Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the Blades to be used for their own purposes?
The Blades just want to defeat Alduin. Don't you?
What I want is irrelevant. This shout was used once before, was it not? And here we are again. Have you considered that Alduin was not meant to be defeated? Those who overthrew him in ancient times only postponed the day of reckoning. They did not stop it. If the world is meant to end, so be it. Let it end and be reborn.
So you won't help me?
No, not now. Not until you return to the path of wisdom.
Arngeir, rock lostovakin, strundul, rock ventinvak, paarthurnax.
Forgive me, I was intemperate. I allowed my emotions to cloud my judgment. Master Einarth reminded me of my duty. The decision whether or not to help you is not mine to make.
So, can you teach me this shout?
No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. It is called dragonrend, but its words of power are unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragonrend holds no place within the way of the voice.
I thought you knew all the words of power.
But not Dragonrend. The knowledge of that shout was lost in the time before history began. Perhaps only its creators ever knew it, but I am not the one to speak of it to you.
What is so bad about this shout, Dragonrend?
It was created by those who had lived under the unimaginable cruelty of Alduin's dragon cult. Their whole lives were consumed with hatred for dragons, and they poured all their anger and hatred into this shout. When you learn a shout, you take it into your very being. In a sense, you become the shout. In order to learn and use this shout, you will be taking this evil into yourself.
You're telling me there's no other shouts that could be considered evil? But if the shout is lost, how can I hope to defeat Alduin?
Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses.
And who is Paarthurnax?
He is our leader.
And who is
He
Paarthurnax?
surpasses us all in his mastery of the way of the voice.
Why haven't I met him then?
He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain. He speaks to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege.
How can I get to the top of the mountain to see him then?
Only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Paarthurnax. The path to Paarthurnax lies through this gate. I will show you how to open the way. Look. Va. Kor. I will grant you my understanding of clear skies. This is your final gift from us, Dragonborn. Use it well. Clear skies will blow away the mist, but only for a time. The path to Paarthurnax is perilous, not to be embarked upon lightly. Keep moving, stay focused on your goal, and you will reach the summit.
That's the last thing they're gonna teach me? They really don't like that I want dragonrend then.
Use clear skies to open the way to Paarthurnax.
And here I was thinking that I had a lot more training to do. If I have more training, I guess it won't be with them. So let's hope that Paarthurnax does want to help me then. The throat of the world. The highest peak of the tallest mountain. Not just in Skyrim, but, well, the whole world. Don't see any Greybeards up here though, so I'm already wondering. Nothing's ever simple. Nothing's ever very straightforward for me now. Is it?
Drem Yolok, greetings, Wunderneek. I am Paarthurnax.
Paarthurnax?
Who are you? What brings you to my Strunmach, my mountain?
You're the master of the Greybeards?
They see me as master, Wuth Onik, old and wise. It is true I am old. Tell me, why do you come here, Volan? Why do you intrude on my meditation?
Well, the Greybeard said my training was over, and to seek you out so that I might learn dragonrend.
Drem, patience. There are formalities which must be observed at the first meeting of two of the Dove. By long tradition, the Elder speaks first.
Your shout's probably more impressive anyway.
Hear my Thum. Feel it in your bones. Match it if you are Dovahkiin.
Oh.
The word calls you. Go to it.
So that's what all 3 words of that sound like. I've only had one this entire time.
A gift, Dovahkiin. You'll understand fire as the Dove do.
Do you think you could teach me the 3rd word? Not to sound selfish, not to sound greedy. I know I just got the 2nd one from you. But would be really helpful.
Now, show me what you can do. Greet me not as mortal, but as Dova. Ah, yes. Sosedo Vlostmul. The dragon blood runs strong in you. It is long since I had the pleasure of speech with one of my own kind.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad it didn't hurt you.
You have made your way here to me. No easy task for a Giorg mortal, even for one of Dovahsos, dragon blood. What would you ask of me?
Can you teach me the dragonrend shout?
Ah, I have expected you, Proda. You would not come all this way for Tinvak with an old Dova. No, you seek your weapon against Alduin.
The Greybeards didn't want me to come at all.
Yes, they are very protective of me, Bahlan Fadon. But I do not know the Thum you seek. Croesus, it cannot be known to me. Your kind, Giorg, mortals, created it as a weapon against the Dove, the dragons. Our Hadrime, our minds, cannot even comprehend its concepts.
How could I learn it then?
Drem, all in good time. First, a question for you. Why do you want to learn this Thum?
I need to stop Alduin. I like this world. I don't want to see it end.
Prusa, as good a reason as any. There are many who feel as you do, although not all. Some would say that all things must end, so that the next can come to pass. Perhaps this world is simply the egg of the next Kalpa, Lean Vokin. Would you stop the next world from being born?
I guess you could say I'm not brave enough to pull my finger out of the dam and let it all fall apart. I'm sorry to say the next world will have to wait, and it'll have to take care of itself.
Paz, a fair answer. Rofus, maybe you only balance the forces that work to quicken the end of this world. Even we who ride the currents of time cannot see past time's end. Wulsetid los trahodis. Those who try to hasten the end may delay it. Those who work to delay the end may bring it closer. But you have indulged my weakness for speech long enough. Croesus, now I will answer your question. Do you know why I live here, at the peak of the Monaven, what you name Throat of the World?
Dragons like mountains, right?
true, but few now remember that this was the very spot where Alduin was defeated by the ancient tongues. Varucht Unslad. Perhaps none but me now remember how he was defeated.
Using the dragonrend shout, right?
Yes and no. Viknusnikaron. Alduin was not truly defeated either. If he was, you would not be here today seeking to defeat him. The Nords of those days used the dragonrend shout to cripple Alduin, but this was not enough. Ok Mulag Unslad. It was the Kell, the Elder Scroll. They used it to cast him adrift on the currents of time.
An Elder Scroll? What's that?
How to explain in your tongue? The Dove have words for such things that Jor do not. It is an artifact from outside time. It does not exist, but it has always existed. Rahwahlan. They are fragments of creation. The Kele, Elder Scrolls as you name them, they have often been used for prophecy. Yes, your prophecy comes from an Elder Scroll. But this is only a small part of their power. Zofasuyer.
Are you saying the ancient Nords sent Alduin forward in time?
Not intentionally. Some hoped he would be gone forever, forever lost. Meye. I knew better. Tidbo Amativ. Time flows ever onward. One day, he would surface. Which is why I have lived here. For thousands of mortal years, I have waited. I knew where he would emerge, but not when.
And how does any of this help me?
Tid Krent. Time was shattered here because of what the ancient Nords did to Alduin. If you brought that Kell, that Elder Scroll back here to the Tid Ahran, the Time Wound, with the Elder Scroll that was used to break time, you may be able to cast yourself back to the other end of the break. You could learn dragonrend from those who created it.
It's funny, I think I just told Lucy the other day that I hope we never have to time travel. Talk about timing, huh? Do you know where I could find an Elder Scroll?
Crosis, no. I know little of what has passed below in the long years I have lived here. You are likely better informed than I.
You don't know me very well, then. Esbern or Arngeir might have some idea then.
Trust your instincts, Dovahkiin. Your blood will show you the way.
What do I do with the Elder Scroll once I find it?
Return it here to the Tid Ahran. Then, Kele Vomindok. Nothing is certain with such things. But I believe the scroll's bond with the Tid Ahran will allow you a seeing, a vision of the moment of its creation. Then you will feel, know dragonrend in the power of its first expression. You will see them, Wuthfadon, my friends, Haken, Gormlaith, Feldir.
Hakon? Gormlaith Feldir? And who are they?
The first mortals that I taught the Thu'um, the first tongues, the leaders of the rebellion against Alduin. They were mighty in their day, even to attempt to defeat Alduin. Sahrot-Hun, the Nords have had many heroes since, but none greater.
How could an Elder Scroll cast Alduin through time?
Vormendok, I do not know. Perhaps in the very doing, they erased the knowing of it from time itself. The Dove are children of Akatosh. Thus, we are specially attuned to the flow of time. Perhaps also uniquely vulnerable. I warned them against such a rash action. Even I could not foresee its consequences. Nust Lihorn, they would not listen.
But it worked. It did stop Alduin after all for thousands of years. You mean to tell me that you were there?
Yes. There were a few of us that rebelled against Alduin's Thur, his tyranny. We aided the humans in his overthrow. But they did not trust us, ni Ov. Their inner counsels were kept hidden from us. I was far from here on the day of Alduin's downfall, but all Dove felt the sundering of time itself.
And what does the dragonrend shout do exactly?
I cannot tell you in detail. I never heard it used. Kogan. It was the first Thu'um created solely by mortals. It was said to force a dragon to experience the concept of mortality. A truly von Mindoran. Incomprehensible idea to the immortal Dove.
All I'm saying is I steal dragon souls, so really, how unstoppable are you guys? You're the master of the Greybeards? Do others come here to train?
I have taught the way of the voice for centuries, and the Thu'um since long before that. But no, Dovahkiin. Others do not come here to train anymore. Saran, you are the first in over 100 years.
That's it? Just 100?
I meditate on the Rotmulag, the words of power. I counsel in their use. It is enough for me.
You meditate on the words. How?
Knowing a word of power is to take its meaning into yourself. Contemplate the meaning of a Rotmulag. You will become closer to that word as it fills your inner self. Will I teach you, Dovahkiin? What word calls you to deeper understanding? There are 3 to master. Fus, Faim, and Yol.
Well, I do like fire, so I'm gonna say Yol.
In your tongue, the word simply means fire. It is change given form, power at its most primal. That is the true meaning of Yol. Solyek, power. You have it, as do all Dove. But power is inert without action and choice. Think of this as the fire builds in your sum, in your breath. Sum arc mora. What will you burn? What will you spare?
I wish to meditate on a word of power. Well, I just meditated, so another time.
Lok thum.
I suppose I should speak to the Greybeards then. Maybe they'll know where I can find this Elder Scroll. Master?
So, you spoke to Paarthurnax. The dragon blood burns bright within you. Did he tell you what you wanted to know? Did he teach you the dragonrend shout?
No, but he told me how to find it.
Well, so be it. If he believes it is necessary for you to learn this, we will bow to his wisdom.
You don't sound very happy about that. I need an Elder Scroll that the ancients used. Do you know where to find it?
We have never concerned ourselves with the scrolls. The gods themselves would rightly fear to tamper with such things. As for where to find it, such blasphemies have always been the stock in trade of the mages of Winterhold. They may be able to tell you something about the Elder Scroll you seek.
There's no other way to defeat Alduin, then?
Perhaps not. But this shout was used once before, was it not? And here we are again. Have you considered that Alduin was not meant to be defeated? Those who overthrew him in ancient times only postponed the day of reckoning. They did not stop it. If the world is meant to end, so be it. Let it end and be reborn.
Yeah, I can't say I find that idea very good. I can't say that I am willing to do that myself. What do you have against the Blades?
The Blades were born of dragon-hating crusaders. They still carry that legacy, although they may not remember from whence it came. They carried out a genocide of dragons when they first came to Tamriel. And now, they will do it again. With your help.
Oh, I'm sorry, have you not seen all the dragons trying to burn down cities, towns, and kill everyone in sight? I guess you wouldn't see it from up here now, would you? What is the Way of the Voice?
The voice was a gift of the goddess Kinnereth at the dawn of time. She gave mortals the ability to speak as dragons do. Although this gift has often been misused, the only true use of the voice is for the worship and glory of the gods. True mastery of the voice can only be achieved when your inner spirit is in harmony with your outward actions. In the contemplation of the sky, Kinnereth's domain, and the practice of the voice, we strive to achieve this balance.
The dragons are terrorizing Skyrim. Don't you think they need to be stopped? Don't you think we should use the shouts to stop them?
That may be what you were here for, Dragonborn. But stopping Alduin is one thing. Helping you wipe out dragons again is quite another. Dragons are part of the natural order of the world. The Blades thought to change the order to suit themselves by wiping out the dragons. But again, we see that the natural order will be restored one way or another. Perhaps we would have dragon allies against Alduin if the ancient Blades had not acted so arrogantly.
Pretty sure there were dragon slayers before the Blades. That's all I'm gonna say.
Sky above, voice within.
Yeah. I think we have some differing philosophies, to say the least. Well, what do you make of all this?
Well, that was a plot twist and a half. The leader of the Greybeards is a dragon. Did not see that one coming.
What do you think of our latest quest?
Isn't it splendid? We need an Elder Scroll. My father could have helped you if you'd asked him 30 years ago, but now it's going to be tricky.
What do you know about the Elder Scrolls?
Not as much as I wish I did. They used to keep them at White Gold Tower, where I studied for a while. They had a library of them there. 30 years ago, we'd have hopped across the border, marched up to the Imperial City, and borrowed the one we needed. They'd have resisted, of course, but we could always have pinched it when they weren't looking. It's been done before.
You don't say. Well, why can't we do that now?
They haven't got any anymore. A few years before I was born, they all vanished from the archives. Gods only know how and why. But they're like that, the scrolls. They have a will of their own. My father always used to say that. He worked with them for a while.
But what are they, actually?
That is a very complicated question that I'm nowhere near qualified to answer. They're old and weird.
Well, some people say that about me too.
Sometimes they tell you the future, and sometimes they tell you the past. And sometimes they drive you mad.
Oh?
The people at the College of Winterhold might have an answer that's more helpful for our purposes. Why don't we go and ask them?
I mean, hey, sounds like a plan to me.
I've been looking for you.
Oh?
Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. I have a letter here from Quintus Navale in Windhelm. He said it was urgent. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Quintus Navali? Isn't that the cranky, sick alchemist's assistant? I think so. Oh. During Norellian's convalescence, I've been studying the legends of the File. I don't know enough of enchanting to make one anew, but with the proper materials, I may be able to repair the original. Please come see me as soon as you can. Respectfully, Quintus Navali, Windhelm. Huh, how about that? Well, let me look real quick, because that takes us to Windhelm. I think Ironbind Barrow isn't too far from there. Yeah, alright. So let's ride up to Windhelm, speak to him, ride out to Ironbind, and then, before you know it, we'll head through Wayward Pass, and we'll be at Winterhold soon enough.